Another one of your favorites, huh?
Another one of my favorites, Ben.
Yeah. What you got?
Pitching.
Pitching.
Am I supposed to take a divot? I see some guys take divots around the green. I don't. I blade it. So I got a lot going on up here.
Well, here's one thing I know. If you're blading it, you're not hitting any ground at all.
No.
Is that fair?
Yeah, that is fair.
So one of the things, yes, the golf club does need to interact with the turf, right?
Okay.
But in a perfect world, you'd either just bruise the grass or not take any turf out. Okay. In order to do that, you're gonna have to remember the bounce that we talked about in the sand?
Yeah, absolutely.
You're gonna have to engage that bounce again. Right?
Okay.
So now one of the things that we talked about earlier is with your wedge, you have 8 degrees of bounce, you have very little. So when you do hit the ground, it's gonna have more of a tendency to dig. So maybe going even to a wedge that has some more bounce would probably be helpful.
Okay.
Okay, so now the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take your wedge out of your hand, which has 8 degrees of bounce. I'm gonna put my wedge in your hand, which has 12 degrees of bounce. So it's gonna skip off the turf real nice for you.
Okay.
Okay, so now here's what we want you to do. Go ahead and just take a couple of practice swings. Just let the club swing back and forth, and I want you to feel the golf club skip off the turf. Very nice. Can you feel the bounce now skipping off the turf? So you notice now you're just bruising the grass.
Yeah.
Notice there's no turf that's actually physically being taken out, right? So now when you're hitting these pitch shots, can you just keep your attention on just bruising the turf?
Bruise the turf.
Just bruise the turf. So we need to hit the turf, but we just want to bruise the turf.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
So now
We can work with that.
Yeah, so now look at the ground interaction.
Sure.
Now you can see how you just barely bruised the turf there. And then if you look at the amount of spin that ball had, when it did hit the green, that thing stopped pretty quickly.
Yeah,
Would that be fair?
absolutely. No,
So now what was really hurting you, Justin, is I'm gonna assume that one of the reasons that maybe you sculled is because you're probably afraid of hitting the turf, because when you do hit the turf, the club has a tendency to dig. So you either hit it fat or you hit it thin.
Right.
So learning how to use the bounce and actually having some equipment in your hands that fits you better for your game will go a long way. So now your only job is, when you have these pitch shots, can you keep your attention on bruising the turf? And if you can keep your attention on bruising the turf, it seems to me that you're gonna hit a lot more shots like this. You wanna try one more?
I do. And I just also want to bring up what Chad was talking to me before we started recording. It was more of the mindset. Instead of thinking about how much spin am I going to put on this, or what's the interaction going to be like with the face of the club and all that, he was just what you were saying. Think about just making sure that you're bruising that turf.
Yes, bruise the turf with the bounce.
Okay, didn't quite bruise the turf.
That's okay. So now what Chad and I always talk about when we're coaching, right? Let's keep this nice and simple. Now, if you didn't bruise the turf, does the club need to be swung lower or higher?
This feels like this is a trick question.
It's actually not. Think about it. So if you miss the ground with a club, do you need to swing lower or higher?
Lower.
You got to swing lower, right? See how simple that is? So recommit your attention. I want you to feel like the club is being swung just a little bit lower. Remember, we're not worried about the result here. You're committing to the bounce bruising the turf. Oh. Dude, how did that feel?
Better.
Do you feel some tingling?
Yeah, obviously a lot better. And again, I think simplifying the game is what we all strive to do, and doing it with thinking about, again, forget the face, forget the, again, how much inertia, how much speed, how much force that I need to do. No.
There's nothing like that, right? You didn't need a laundry list set of instructions.
No, I bruised the turf too much!
Well, hold on a second. So now notice you're talking and swinging. Would that be fair?
Yeah, I would also say that my focus probably was a little
So here's one thing that we always know, right? Like, you can't be talking and swinging, man. You got to focus your attention on one thing, right?
Correct.
So now in this next shot, can you just continue to focus your attention on bruising the turf?
Yes.
And don't talk to me as you do it.
Deal.
Deal?
Deal.
All right, bud.
No.
Okay, ball's your teacher. Do you need to swing lower or
lower?
Higher? Okay.
This automatic ball finder is great.
So now, as you did this, Justin, one of the things that's really important at home is you have to remember that as you're focusing on bruising the turf, you're detached from the result. Mm-hmm. So were you detached from the result on that last swing, or are you worried about what George is getting on camera?
I was worried about George. I'm worried about George.
Okay, yeah, no problem. George. Yeah, it's George.
George
is
great.
So we're not going to worry about George this time. You're going to commit your attention to bruising the turf.
Bruising the turf. I was worried about George.
Let's try it again, buddy. So, did you detach yourself from the result? Do you need more balls?
Yeah, but...
So go ahead and take a practice swing here, Justin.
I guess, and here's where I would ask, I feel like I'm doing a lot with my hands and I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do with my hands.
So you're not committed to bruising the turf, you're worried
Correct.
about your hands, is that true?
Correct, yes.
So you gotta detach yourself from all those other swing thoughts, Justin. And remember, it's as simple as this, like, hey Justin, look at me. I can bruise the turf with one hand looking at you. This isn't hard, right? But what complicates it, if you're throwing a bunch of additional stuff into the recipe, that's when this gets complicated. That's when you're not gonna be able to perform.
I did it 6, 7, 8, 9 times.
It's not hard, right?
Right.
So now can you just commit your attention to bruising the turf with a bounce? We're not worried about the hands at all. But if you start thinking about all this other technical nonsense, now your attention is split. So it's like chasing two birds or chasing two rabbits at the same time. You're not gonna catch any of them. Very good. So you committed your attention to bruising the turf, right? So now did you actually bruise the turf or did the club dig just a little bit?
I mean, I stubbed the toe a little bit more than maybe, but
that's okay. Let me ask you this. Were you committed to the intention?
Yes.
Were you detached from the result?
Detached from, and I love
the result still work out,
right?
Right? Yeah.
Yes.
So now, did you bruise the turf perfectly? Absolutely not. Did the shot still work out because you committed? Yes, it did, right? So now one of the things that Chad and I would encourage you to continue to do to work on more skipping the golf club off the turf would be play Goldilocks. The pour just too hot, it's too cold, it's just right. So now when you're training, can you make a couple of practice swings where maybe you dig too much?
Yeah.
Now I'm not gonna dig at all, I'm gonna miss the ground completely. And then I'm gonna go somewhere in between where I'm now engaging the bounce and feeling the bounce skip off the turf. So you go too much, then you go none at all, and then you go somewhere in between. So a lot of times when you feel the extreme on both ends, you can find that happy medium ground.
Okay. Awesome.
Hey, bro.
Thanks
for hanging out.
Anytime.
We hope this tip helps. We look forward to seeing you next time.